Welcome to Grandpa Hill's Stories. I am Grandpa Hill. For my children, my grandchildren, and all children, what you're about to hear really happened to me. Welcome to Grandpa Hill's True Stories. I'm sitting here with 3 of my grandchildren. So the story is about Brandy. So that is me, and that's the pony.
Okay, super.
Summer of 1969. That's probably one of the first times I sat on it. And that's his pen where he'd be wintered. And that's Uncle Jerry out where he would be tied. Okay, so he was, but just really the beginning. So when I was 12, it was 1969, and I was interested in horses, and I don't really know why I was interested in horses now, but I was reading a lot, and I also watched TV a lot. So TV had westerns, and the library had westerns. So I would read westerns. I'd read like 5 westerns in a week, and then I'd go back and want to read more. I just like some little kids get excited about dinosaurs, and they have to know what each dinosaur is and its name. I was like that with westerns, except I couldn't really be living that out if I didn't have a horse. So I told my mom and my dad I wanted a horse, like for my birthday. Which was not a good birthday present. Yeah, that's a pretty big birthday present. So it turned out that I did get a horse for my 13th birthday. Well, to me it was a horse, but it's really Brandy, the pony. But he was a Welsh pony. He was about 13 hands, maybe 13 and a half.
You were very big.
And I wasn't big, so to me it was quite a horse. So I had to go in half for the horse. Mm-hmm. So my parents, they paid half, which was $15.
Wait, how is this only $30?
And I was getting my 15, which was, again, a lot of money for me, but that's okay. I got a horse.
Yeah, but how is the horse only $30?
Well, I think it was sort of like they were getting rid of it.
Oh.
I don't know exactly. But
so not a horse that anybody else wanted?
Yeah, I don't know if that's true either. I wanted the horse, and that was good enough. Mm-hmm. But I did not know how to, like, saddle a horse,
tack,
feed a horse, halter the horse, ride a horse. I'd never ridden a horse, ever. And now I had a horse. So I'm like, what am I going to do with this horse? So I needed to learn how to ride. And one of the first rides is that one I showed you in the picture. I was just sitting. My dad would lead it around and stuff even with the bridle on, everything's there. This horse did not want to be bridled. Brandy would not take the bit. I had to leave the halter on while I was riding because I couldn't get the halter back on. Brandy just fought me on every step of the way. And then we had a little pasture put up. My dad helped me with the fencing. Maybe it was about a half an acre or so. And I went to ride. And again, I just walking around, trotting around. And then I started to gallop around. And now I'm like, not a cowboy, but I got a horse and I'm having fun. I don't know any other horse people, don't know anything else about horses, but I have this horse. And then one day that I'm going out, I felt Brandy rise up from underneath me. And I said, what's going on? Because to me, it was just like I'm galloping around and then all of a sudden I'm going up. And I said, okay, he's bucking. Okay. So when he goes up, then I'm figuring I'm going to go down because I've watched a lot of movies. I know what happens. They go up and down and up and down, and they hang on and they ride the horse.
You didn't
But
go back down, though.
no. There's this system that the Brandy had. It's called what I call now, and it's like an ejection system. So Brandy goes down. I'm coming down, but not quite as fast as Brandy because I'm still going up. I'm up, and the stirrups are loosening. The straps loosen. So then I'm up, and then he's going back up while I'm going down. That's the ejection, yeah. Because when that happens, it's like boom, and now my momentum's reversed, and I just go flying. And it hurt, and I got scraped up. And I said, we got to figure this out. So I looked at more books, and I'm trying to understand how to stay on a horse. So now I'm going to ride with this horse. He starts bucking again, and I stay on. Then I'm going to ride with this horse. He changes his tactics. Now, Brandy goes up. He's like up there. I'm looking at the clouds, and I'm ready to slide off the back because I'm hanging on real tight here, but not, my rear end's going to come off the saddle. And then he comes down and does the buck. And again, I'm ejected because I'm there like, I don't want to fall off. So now he's going down forward, and then all of a sudden he kicks his front feet out, and then the back feet go out repeatedly. It's not like a up and down. It's like, like getting me off. And so again, I fall down. I figure out how to master that. That took a while too. And then I kind of liked it because then it was more like what you see in the movies where the horse rises up, goes way up high, and then they take off running. And that's exactly what he would do. He'd go way up high, and if he realized I wasn't leaving, he would want to run. So now I was ready to leave the pasture and ride out into the woods, or into the fields, wherever I could go. So when I would go to get up on Brandy, I was ready to leave the pasture. I felt like I could handle the pony outside of the pasture. And I had grand plans to start by riding up and down the 5 acres that we had. There's a path down through the middle, and then branch out to riding on the road and off to other fields. Well, Brandy was ready to leave the pasture too. I knew he was ready to leave the pasture because when I got up the next morning, he wasn't in the pasture. He had actually sailed over a 4-foot fence, which was really disaster because I had to go find him, and neighbors called and things like that. So we go in because we're sort of in the country. I get the Brandy back, and I'm excited because I'm like, well, now I got a jumper too. But it turns out he wouldn't jump over anything. If I was on him, that would be like, no. But he could. But I knew he could jump. He could really go flying. So so Brandy definitely had leaving the pasture on his mind, and grazing, and grain, and he would seemingly do absolutely anything to get his way. People like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the end of that story.
Wow! Grandpa got a pony for his birthday? And you know what else, Gorf?
What else?
It was practically a horse! And he learned to ride. Were you listening?
But he knew nothing about riding, and he got hurt, and he got hurt again, and it cost him lots of money and time.
Well, I think he learned responsibility. He took care of Brandy. And he learned how to get bucked off. And then he learned how to stay on. He must have been very proud and happy.
Marshmallow,
Yes?
I think Grandpa committed himself to learn and become a good horseman. Do you think he ever became great?
No, Gorf. I do not think he became great. Or even very good with horses.
So is Brandy really worth the pain, the hassle, the time, and the money?
Oh, yes, Garth. It was so worth it. Being responsible, following through on commitments, they are so important. Grandpa was growing up. He was maturing, I think some people say.
Marshmallow,
Yes,
do you think Grandpa's mom and dad knew this was good for him to have a horse?
well, I think they knew it might turn out well. It would take some time, and if Grandpa did what he said he would do, he would be growing up well.
Brandy seemed very stubborn. Did Grandpa ever get good at riding him?
I do think he got better.
But did he ever get good at riding and being a horseman?
Well, I guess we'll have to listen to the next part of the story, Dorf.
You mean part 2 and part 3 about Brandy and
Yes.
Grandpa?
Then we will know the truth about Grandpa and his pony Brandy.
Oh, good.